Hello, my name is Parvati and I have written a book called Rattu and Poorie's Adventures in History, which also has lots of lovely pictures in it by Meghna, Menon. Rattu and Poorie are two sisters, and when the book begins, Rattu is in a bad, mad mood. Rattu is angry because Poorie, who is her older sister, has been horrid and mean. Poorie has taken Rattu's toys and gone off to play with her friends, leaving Rattu all alone at home. Rattu makes ghastly faces at Roundy the cat, and she makes ghastly faces at Jhansi the cook, and she makes ghastly faces at Mama on the balcony. A little bit like this. And when she has nobody left to make ghastly faces at, she goes and stomps her feet on Poorie's bed. But none of this makes her feel any better. Rattu wishes she had a big soldier with a big sword who would fight for her and take her side. And just as Rattu makes her wish, the bed begins to rumble and the room becomes black. And just as Rattu makes her wish, the air begins to frizzle and the floor begins to crack. And as Rattu looks on, not one but two soldiers climb up from the cracks in the floor. The soldiers are riding big brown horses and they are holding large shining swords in their hands. What Rattu doesn't know and what she will soon find out is that these soldiers are in fact Rani Lakshmi and Jhalkari Bai, who defended the fort of Jhansi during the Uprising of 1857. As the story of Rattu and Poorie's adventures in history goes on, Rattu and Poorie and all of their friends meet other characters from 1857 too. They meet Rani Lakshmi and Jhalkari Bai, of course, and Lakshmi Bai's son Damodar Rao. They meet Nana Sahib and his Diwan Azimullah Khan. They meet Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was the last Mughal emperor. All of these people tell Rattu and Poorie all of their stories from 1857. They tell Rattu and Poorie about the siege of Jhansi and about the battles of Kanpur and of Delhi and about the big bullies from the company that had lots of guns and money and always wanted more. And Rattu and Poorie tell them stories too. They tell Lakshmi Bai and Jhalkari Bai about the fight that they are having with each other. They tell Nana Sahib and Azimullah Khan about the big bullies in their school. And they tell Bahadur Shah Zafar about their grandfather Ajju, who lives all alone with his parrot. And I will read out just a tiny bit from one of these stories. This is after Rattu and Poorie have made up from their fight. They are no longer fighting, and in fact it is now Poorie's birthday. And on Poorie's birthday, she buys all her friends in her class, plus Rattu, who is not in her class, ice cream from the ice cream man in the school canteen. There he is. What will you have? Asked the ice cream man. Chocolate banana. Strawberry is nice. Vanilla is delicious and very well priced. What about blackberry? Or apricot and cherry? Or would you like a frozen cone that's full of melted ice? No, said Poorie. We don't want to eat melted ice. That's all right, said the ice cream man. Look, here's the cone in my left hand. I'll fill it up with pista green. Now here's a scoop of tangerine. Add a scoop of apple red. Oh no, here's jamun blue instead. Would you like to end with fudge? Is that too much or not enough? Oops, the scoops are piling higher. Here's your cone to gobble up. The ice cream man's hands flew left and right and up and down, and before anyone knew what was what, Rattu and Poorie and all of Poorie's friends were holding tall and wobbly cones of ice cream. Rattu opened her mouth to take a bite when, "What's going on here?" said a big, rude voice. Rattu closed her mouth and looked around. A group of very big boys and girls were standing behind them. "What's going on?" said the big, rude voice again. A very big girl grabbed the ice cream cone from Rattu's hand. "Look at all you greedy gluts," said the very big girl in a very rude voice. "I'm going to eat your ice cream." "I'm not a greedy glut," said Rattu, and she stomped her foot. "Give it back." But the very big girl just laughed. All the other big boys and girls grabbed the ice cream from Poorie and Poorie's friends and began to eat them. "Goodbye, greedy gluts," they said, and went away. "Catch them," said Rattu. "Poorie, they took all our ice cream." Here they are. Poorie made an angry face. "I know," she said. "They are big bullies and I hate them." "Let's catch them," said Rattu. Rattu and Poorie and all of Poorie's friends gave a big yell and began to run after the big bullies. "Give us back our ice cream," they shouted. "Give us back our cones." But when they reached the big bullies, it was too late. All the ice cream was finished. "Your ice cream's in our tummies," the big bullies laughed. "Now go away." Rattu and Poorie and all of Poorie's friends went to a corner of the playground and they grumbled. "Big bullies are mean. Big bullies are rotten. Big bullies are pimply. Big bullies are rude. They ate all our ice cream and ruined our mood." After they had grumbled for a while, Rattu said, "I wish there was someone who could get our ice cream back." Just as Rattu made her wish, a big wind began to blow. And just as Rattu made her wish, the trees began to shake and a leaf fell on her nose. She put the leaf in her pocket. And just as she did, a man stood up in front of her. He had a big white turban on his head and a fluffy black beard all over his cheeks and chin. Between the turban and the beard, he had 2 dark eyes, a small nose, and a big smile. "Who are you?" said Rattu and Poorie and all of Poorie's friends. "I am Azimullah Khan," said the man with the turban and the fluffy beard. "Who are you?" When Rattu and Poorie and all of Poorie's friends had told him their name, Azimullah Khan made a little bow and said, "Enchante." "Enchante," said Rattu. "What does that mean?" "It means I'm glad to meet you," said Azimullah Khan. "It's French." "You're not French," said Poorie. "French people don't wear turbans." "French people can wear turbans," said Azimullah Khan, "if they want to." "But they don't," said Poorie. "But they could," said Azimullah Khan. "But they won't," said Poorie. "But they might," said Azimullah Khan. "But they shan't," said Poorie. "But they should and they would if they could. Am I right? Wouldn't you if you could when it's cold in the night?" "Oh," said Poorie. "Now," said Azimullah Khan, "why do you look like you've all got the grumps?" Rattu and Poorie and all of Poorie's friends told Azimullah Khan what had happened. "Aha," said Azimullah Khan when they had finished. "Ate up all your ice cream, I see, without so much as a by your leave. Well, don't you worry. I know how to deal with big bullies." And he did indeed know how to deal with big bullies, because he and Nana Sahib had to fight big bullies in 1857 when those big bullies wanted to try and take Nana Sahib's kingdom away from him. So that was a little bit from Rattu and Poorie's adventures in history, where Rattu and Poorie hear stories from people from 1857, and they tell them their stories in return, and in the end, most importantly, they get their ice cream.